Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beyond the Credits. Markcity told me a joke.
Right before we went on air, so yeah, that's good.
And I'm sick, so we're going to start this thing. Welcome to Beyond the Credits. I'm your host, Matt Diaz. And we have a great show for you. We have a game coming up later today, and these guys, I have no idea what the game is, which is going to be great. Yeah. But anyway, to my right...
Or it could be bad.
Or it could be, either way, I'm going to be entertained, and so is everyone else. To my right, we have the very infamous Chris Markcity back again. How are you doing?
Infamous? Yeah, I'm doing
yeah,
well.
I'm changing it up every week. How you doing? You good? I'm glad. And to my left, we have the host of Tonight's Tonight, Mr. Chris Nielsen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How
are you doing? Good. I'm doing good. Another week for movies, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Movies are always coming out.
It's every week.
They keep coming out. What's the deal?
I can't. All right. Moving on to movie news, like we typically do every week. Starting over with Jurassic World. Jurassic World, it's a movie came out last year, and made $1 billion. Universe is very happy with that. So you know what? You know what you do with $1 billion?
Try to capitalize and make more.
You make more movies, exactly. And so they've already announced that the Jurassic World is going to be turned into a trilogy, which is, well, what do you guys think?
I think we saw it coming.
Yeah. But is it the best idea? Maybe money-wise, sure. I mean, if it made $1 billion, it's going to make more money. But do you think that they should have ended it there? Or do we have more story to tell? Or should we even get more?
I don't know. I know some people had, whenever a new film comes out that's based on a classic series, there's always going to be a group of people who hated it.
Right. Who
don't feel like it lived up to whatever they had in their head. But, I don't know. Overall, I feel like the majority of people had a positive experience watching it. And so I think, it's likely and, deserved to continue it.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it could be a good move. I mean, obviously it's mostly. It didn't really seem like they needed to have another sequel, but they did set themselves up for one.
Yeah.
I guess they just go back to the same island where Jurassic World takes place and kind of just do a little bit like Jurassic Park 2, Lost World. They took it out of the context of the first film and kind of put them in a new place, but it was like, where the dinosaurs are already overrun.
Yeah.
So that might be interesting to see. Probably Chris Pratt's going to be back. Probably Bryce Dallas Howard, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It seems safe. I don't know. It's not like I'm super excited for it because, like we'll talk about later, reboot fatigue and remake fatigue and sequel fatigue is running rampant, right now. So I don't know, just lukewarm, I guess, is my whole feeling about the Jurassic World trilogy.
Because they've already done one, right?
Yeah, they've already done a Jurassic Park, trilogy. But it wasn't really a trilogy. It didn't really seem like a trilogy because they were like they had characters that were from the previous films, but it's not like you can see the Jurassic Park trilogy and see like a progression that was happening, or not that I'm aware of either.
Not really a three-movie arc.
There wasn't, it wasn't like a real thread. So if they do try to make something with this Jurassic World trilogy and try to make it more of like a 3-movie arc with Chris Pratt's character and Bryce Dallas Howard, that would be cool to see. That hasn't happened before in the franchise. So
like a consistent.
Yeah, like a consistent. So it would really feel like Jurassic World 2. And because even though Lost World was a sequel to Jurassic Park, they even called it Lost World. They didn't straight up call it Jurassic Park 2.
Well, they also had like a lot of different, like they had some characters come back, and the same with the third one.
Like Jeff Goldblum was the star of the, he was a supporting character and he became the star. And then Sam Neill from the first one, who was the star, came back for the third one.
Do you think we should see more people come back for the other sequels?
Yeah, I think if they bring more people back and kind of keep the same cast and focus on like giving those characters an arc of their own, I think that's something that would be good to see in the trilogy that we really didn't get the first time. Okay. So.
All right, so let's move on from there. I think this is great news. Stan Lee, the infamous Marvel creator, is getting his own planned on getting his own movie.
Not just a movie.
Not just
any movie.
A movie about his life.
Yeah, an action
movie
about his life.
About his life. It's going to be based in the 1970s, and they're saying it's going to be very similar to The Kingsman.
Yeah, tonally they want to compare it to The Kingsman, which is an interesting thing when you think of a biopic.
But they said they don't really want it. They have his life rights, but they're going to it almost seems like they're going to make it into a superhero film of sorts, because apparently they said in the 70s that's when Stan Lee came over to LA to try to just put all his properties on screen. So maybe it's like him versus the the
Studio?
Hollywood system
Yeah.
or whatnot, and like I don't know what they're gonna do. Probably gonna recast. Everybody would like even you said before you want Stan Lee to be.
Yeah, I would love to be.
Yeah. I think it would be cool to be in it.
I don't care if they put like if they CGI him the entire movie and
Really?
he was the
Really?
voice. I mean, I'm just saying. But either way, like if you have him do like some parts and then like you can tell it wasn't him. Like doing it, like
that
a
would be
spoof
okay. That would be
movie.
funny. So it was like
Yes.
in the action scenes, it's clearly not
Yeah,
Stan Lee.
clearly
and
not
everything else
Stan
it
Lee.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden he comes back and is like, whoa. And then I don't know, like Excelsior, whatever he says.
Yeah, that's his
and
catchphrase.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. I think it'll be fun just to have him. I mean, he's an old guy. He's like in his 90s.
Yeah.
And so
That's the thing. That's
Yeah.
why I don't think he would be. I mean, I think he should obviously make a cameo.
yes, he's very
That's
well
what he's
known
known.
for
Yeah, that's what he's known
Yeah.
for. But
That's his
yes,
thing.
people have been like throwing around the name Bryan Cranston. And I think he'd be a good.
I think he's young enough. He's at the age where
I can see it.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
see Bryan Cranston. Yeah, he played oh man, I forgot the actor. I forgot the person that he played, but he was in the movie Trumbo, and he played a famous screenwriter. And
Wasn't
I
his name Trumbo?
Yeah, I guess
Maybe?
it was. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
should have seen it.
That's Trumbo. You're right. And so, and he had like he was rocking the mustache, and like he had the black hair. Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
Looks a lot like him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just switch the black to gray, and you have Stan Lee essentially, and he's a great actor. It would almost be like an honor for Bryan Cranston to play
Yeah.
Stan Lee, because
Stan the Man.
Stan the Man.
That should be the title.
Stan the Man. I
I'm
like
calling
it.
it now.
There you-
It's
There
right?
we go.
yeah. I think it'd be good.
I can't even talk right now.
But I just picture a scene of like him bursting through a door in like a stylized like action sequence, like I don't know, throwing his scripts around, like check this out, this
Yeah.
is Spider-Man.
Yes.
I don't
Like
know.
pow, bam.
Yeah,
Yeah, boom.
That's Batman.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah.
Here's Fantastic Four, another one of his famous creation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a great idea. They should just have us come as the writers.
Completely
It's
unexpected, but I think
there's
it's
no
it's
writer
cool.
that has been
It's-
attached to the
Yeah.
film yet. So there's three of us right here.
It's a great
Oh,
concept.
right, we're
yeah.
writing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's just right. I mean, we had great ideas.
We'll send the script in. see
Yeah,
what it does.
exactly. See what they feel. Moving on from that. So a book came out over the summer called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is been adapted to a play. But now, of course, since you have a new Harry Potter book or a screenplay, they want another movie,
Yeah, of course.
of course. And so the Fantastic Beasts of Where to Find Them is not enough for them, and they're already starting a trilogy
I
off
know.
of that.
Yeah. They're already
And-
planning 3 movies.
And so now they want to continue. They want to stretch out this franchise. And I even heard that this movie is going to get its own trilogy. That was also another rumor.
Cursed Child's going to
Wow.
get a trilogy?
That's
what they
Curse-
talked?
That's what they talked about. I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah, I hope those are murmuring.
Just,
Yeah,
just
like,
hearing the
really-
synopsis, it didn't seem like it would be enough.
just one movie's good enough. Typically, that's what it should be. But yeah, so Daniel Radcliffe spoke out on the matter and his opinion, and he said that the door is wide open for him to. He's leaving that door open, but if someone else played the role,
Yeah.
he'd be okay with it. So it's like he's open to the idea, but he's not but he's willing to. He's doing all these indie films, so he's not up to it. So what do you think? Who do you think? Do you think that he should come back, or do you think he should stay where he is?
I think he should come back, but honestly, I wouldn't mind him coming back in the same way like Harrison Ford came back for Star Wars, like significantly later, where he's actually the right age to
Right.
play adult Harry.
You think this is too?
I
too
think
soon for
they're
this
pushing
movie?
it. They're trying to keep it while it's in its biggest relevance, rather than letting it build nostalgia over time with fans. Wait till fans are really pushing to get Harry Potter back
Right.
before throwing it at us.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. How do you feel about the
No,
matter?
I actually do agree with you, but I thought about something that like counterpoint to his age. Because when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, well, wait on making this movie.
Right.
You have Harry, Ron, and Hermione in the story,
Yeah.
but it's really about the kids, that like the new generation and how they like passing the torch. It's called the Cursed Child, and I'm assuming it has to do with Harry's child, Albus. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that they maybe should wait, but the counterpoint to that is in the epilogue of Deathly Hallows, we have already seen an aged Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and so to keep like a visual continuity throughout their whole franchise, they may want to speed up the process of making the Cursed Child, and they could just use the same process they used to age those characters again. Like that's very possible. I mean, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good for what it was.
2011.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's only a few years ago,
Yeah,
though.
5
But
years
yeah,
ago. Yeah, but still, I mean, it was still.
I think they could still.
Yeah.
I mean, they could still do that same similar process and have him in it. But I think the preferable thing would be, to wait so you don't have to worry about the makeup or the CGI or whatnot. You just have an actual old Daniel Radcliffe, especially now that we have Fantastic Beasts in a trilogy.
Like, we can focus that. We can continue 3 movies, 7 books, I don't know, however long they want to make it last, and then come back to the original franchise, the one you love.
Right. And I definitely agree with you, because they did already start this franchise. I think it just happened to be that this book came out right before they kickstarted this new franchise they're trying to start with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. They're already talking about making it into a trilogy. We at least have this for the next 3 to 5 years of this trilogy. And
and also, who knows? She's already addressed several other wizarding schools.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling. Yeah, J.K. Rowling has already addressed several other wizarding schools that exist. Depending on how Fantastic Beasts goes, they might even start separate stories. That doesn't take place in Britain, doesn't take place in America. It takes place in Africa. Mixing it up.
And is J.K. Rowling the kind of creator that we think would maybe take other screenwriters and directors and allow them to tell their own stories in her world?
I know thus far she hasn't. She's been the lead writer. I know
she's a screenwriter for Fantastic
Harry Potter was originally Harry Potter World was originally going to be in Disney, but they wanted more creative control, and she wanted to keep the creative control for Harry Potter and make sure that it was done justice the way she wanted it to.
Now to Universal, look how well
because and it's doing fantastically. Yeah, so because of that, I don't know if she would really want to relinquish control. If she does, it'd probably be to specific, writers who she knows she can trust.
Only time will tell with that.
True.
And lastly, we have a casting announcement. John Manganiello.
No. Manganiello.
Manganiello.
There we go.
There we go.
We spent a bunch of time trying to make sure we pronounced it right.
We were close.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's been first. Ben Affleck kind of leaked or kind of accidentally showed off or purposely showed off.
Very purposely showed off.
Showed off a test footage of Deathstroke in the new Batman movie, and it's been confirmed who the cast was, and that is our man Joe over here.
Yeah.
And his last name, that's confusing.
Manganiello.
And so, what do you think of the casting?
I think it's brilliant. I watched Arrow before.
Okay.
So I guess live action, Slade, live action Deathstroke. That's what I was introduced with.
Okay, yeah.
But I will say that guy who played him on Arrow,
Manu Bennett.
I thought for a while I thought it was
him.
Joe. Yeah,
right.
They have a very similar look. So I don't know. I like that they're continuing that aesthetically. That's who I would have dreamcast. So I'm very happy.
With him.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think either of them particularly look like how I picture Slade and from the comics. But Manu Bennett was great, but he's also pretty short for Deathstroke. Mm-hmm. This guy, I'm pretty sure he is taller than Ben Affleck. So that's cool, because not only is Deathstroke supposed to be one of physically. He could physically best Batman.
Yeah.
So to be able to cast a guy that is, in stature much larger than the guy who's playing Batman, I think that's a good
He's
move.
also pretty tall.
I've seen him more that's what I'm saying. He's Ben Affleck is at least 6 feet. So this guy is even taller. That's great.
And he also he has a lot of moves too, because he's a Magic Mike 1 and 2, so he can definitely.
I've seen him in more charismatic comedic roles. He was in How I Met Your Mother. That's actually I first know him as Marshall's brunch buddy. But so it's cool. It's weird. It's almost weird to see him now in such a in Snyder's as Snyder's Deathstroke.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I was introduced to him from True Blood.
Okay, yeah.
So I've seen him do a lot of stuff physically.
Right.
Because he played a werewolf. And I again loved his character, so I don't know. I like the actor.
Okay.
And like I said, he's been in How I Met Your Mother. He's funny. I don't think the humor is really gonna show in
I'm not
Batman
sure how
versus
much
Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
But
he's more of a serious guy.
Yeah.
But so that is all the news we have for this week. Coming back, we're gonna start our new TV, or not new, but we're gonna continue over our TV segment. And we're gonna introduce a new panelist onto the show. So
I'll be gone.
She'll be he'll be mysteriously disappeared, and we'll have somebody else new. So we'll be right back after the break.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Lake Claire's Universities of Central Florida's place for relaxation, tranquility, and a good time. Students who crave the outdoors can experience the wonders of Lake Claire and all the benefits it has to offer. Lake Claire offers a wide variety of kayaks, wakeboards, canoes, and much, much more. All of this is free for UCF students and can be rented out every day of the year except for on football game days. Students can take advantage of the wide open spaces and throw around a frisbee with your friends, or attack the ball with our sandy volleyball court. Come by the dock, sit down, and enjoy the beautiful view of Lake Claire's clear blue waters. Located just off the side of Gemini Boulevard and Greek Park Drive, this bubble of nature is one you must check out after finals week. For more information and rentals, visit our website so you can enjoy Lake Claire today.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So this is going to be our new or TV segment we're trying to do into the shows. A lot of people wanted this on the show. So again, to my right, we have Mr. Markcity back again doing this TV segment. And to my left, we have a new panelist, Diana Rodriguez from Cosplay Fame. Can you tell us a little about Cosplay Fame?
Sure. Well, first, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
So Cosplay Fame, we have our podcast you can find on SoundCloud and iTunes. And we pretty much do what we're doing, hang out with our friends and geek out over new news.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. We have a good old time.
Yeah. We always have a great time. Yeah. So instead of geeking out, or today we're geeking out over a very popular show called American Horror Story. And so with this season is going to be particularly interesting because we don't know what's it about. So for those who don't know, American Horror Story is a miniseries. It's been going on for 5 seasons. Each season is something different. New theme, same characters for the most part. And then now we're having season 6, which starts tonight, September 14th, and we don't know what the theme is. Mm-hmm. And we don't even know barely who the characters are. So what do you think about that tactic? We'll start with you, Diana.
I love it, and I myself have tried to respect that and not Google what I can. I know a lot of people love speculating, but I thought it was a smart marketing move because I mean, after 5 seasons and the topics that they picked, it's kind of hard to top. It's just like, it's almost like they're at the point that they could run out of ideas. So they're just like, all right, we'll let everyone else speculate and create that buzz. I know a lot of people were disappointed after season 4.
The Freak Show?
Yeah. So maybe this is a way for them to be like, all right, we're not going to even announce it. So those people that became disinterested are now like back to, curious about it.
Right. And so what do you think about this with this tactic? Because like what she was saying, that we don't have since we don't know what it is, it's almost like a way to just keep people interested.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does that. I mean, like anything that just announced like, oh, welcome to American Horror Story season 6, it's going to be The Woods.
Right.
Then you're like, okay, so they're going to have werewolves this season, probably, okay. You'd piece it together, you'd get less excited for it.
Yeah,
because you kind of figure out what's going to be going. So I think the way that they're shrouding it in mystery is smart, and I don't know, the best horror things, like they hide the monster. Like, I know, like Aliens or Alien, like one of the things about it that made it terrifying was that like you only saw it out of the corner of your eye.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really get a clear thing about it, and like so your own thoughts about what it could be makes you even more terrified than if they just showed it. And so I think that's kind of like the same kind of thought process.
Yeah, totally. They're cashing in on the, you know, everyone's afraid of the unknown. So they're playing that up a lot.
And even again back to their marketing campaign, they've been releasing trailers for it, but each trailer is something different. We have I think 30 or 20 different trailers of completely new, and then we don't even know if any of those are real. I mean, do you have from the top of your head, or if you have anyone, do you have any trailers you might maybe like? I can deal with that idea.
Trailers. I was admittedly looking through some of the theories.
Right.
And one of the ones I found, I don't know if I can show it on the iPad, but or we could go through. But I found one that's about Charles Manson.
Okay.
Oh.
And one of the things, it just had like these blades and whatnot over a cradle, which I know they've also announced that kids are going to be playing a bigger part in it.
Okay.
And I didn't even notice this when I watched the trailer. It spells out pig, which apparently was written in blood in one of Charles Manson's victims' homes. So I know that there's a theory that it's going to be a Charles Manson or Manson family-based season, which would be interesting.
Do you think they're gonna do like a large timeline? Because I know a big rumor was also Roanoke, and I feel like with the trailers you keep getting glimpses of different eras where crazy things are happening.
I personally really want Roanoke.
Me
I've been
too.
excited about it ever since American Horror Story Season 1, where they announced that. I mean, I don't know exactly what they'll play, because they kind of vaguely said what happened.
Yeah.
When the psychic was explaining what happened to the Roanoke colony. So I don't know how that'll be if they do Roanoke, like knowing how it's going to end. But
I mean, they did play also when, from my understanding, season 6, they did announce that all the prior seasons are kind of going to make sense how they are interconnected.
Yeah, I know, like, there's few things here and there, like Pepper from Freak Show, Asylum. It's kind of interesting, because Freak Show was after Asylum, but one of the characters from Freak Show was actually in Asylum, so you were introduced to that character first, and so you kind of saw how she got there.
Yeah, and so was the nun.
In the later season.
The blonde nun.
Yeah, she was in there too.
Sister Mary Eunice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like how they can go back and they can, like, piece together. They can do Murder House in season 1, and then, wait till season 5 to bring it back with Hotel.
Yeah.
Then... certain of these seasons, they're set in like unique time periods, like I think it was like 1970s Clearwater, Florida, and I know a lot of it's taking place in Hollywood. So I know there's rumors that it's going back to Hollywood again, but who knows?
It would make sense, because even season 1, the great thing about season 1 is you have Murder House and you have one central family, but in that one house we did go through multiple eras. So I'm wondering if that's what they're gonna do like now. It's it's one location, but how it's developed throughout many years.
Also, we don't really know about much of the cast. Do you think that we might get Jessica Lange back, since she's took a season off? Or
when she left, she said she did want to come back, but she didn't want to be as major a role as she had in the past. So I do think that she's such a great actress.
She really
should be back.
I mean, she took over seasons 1 through 4, took a break. Lady Gaga almost pretty much replaced the Jessica Lange, and she won an Emmy for her role in a Hotel.
And I will say, I didn't particularly care for Lady Gaga's casting announcement when I heard it, but then when I watched the season, I was impressed.
Would you like to see Jessica Lange back for season 6, or are you fine with Lady Gaga if she returns? Or
I don't know. I think honestly, if anyone were to replace, I know the Hotel, it really was like Lady Gaga was Jessica Lange's replacement, but I think the one to watch out for is Sarah Paulson.
Yeah.
In terms of taking over like larger roles, as she's very comfortable with.
She took the backseat in Hotel. I thought
she did. Yeah.
I didn't really see her as much, and she played a really low key character. If anyone, I think Kathy Bates.
She's gonna be back. I'm excited for that.
She played a more prominent role in Hotel than Sarah Paulson did. So yeah, but definitely a lot of things coming out of American Horror Story. I'm really excited to see what they ended up doing with it. I know Ryan Murphy, he's he's the creator of the show, and he's always weird things happening over there. So I think I'll be really excited to see if they do connect it. But moving on to another show that kind of started off on Sunday is a show called Son of Zorn. And it's a unique show. We have an old animated character called He-Man, and if you don't know what he is, he's really what 1980s or something like that. And now you're bringing him into the live action world, and he's giving up his old life, and now he's trying to reconnect with his son, who's all everybody's live action except for him. And so the creators of the show are their name escapes me right now. Phil Lloyd and Chris Miller. Yeah, the people who created the Lego Movie and
Last Man on Earth.
And Last Man on Earth, right? I think they helped with the show. And 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, they're also created those shows. So I mean, now they're kind of mixing their talents together. And we talked about this before the show. We haven't really seen a lot of shows really that balance with the animated and live action. Now we're having a show on primetime on Fox. What do you think about this, Chris?
I mean, yeah, I was trying to look back and see, what they're undertaking with the mix between live action and animated, animated characters to this level. Now I was looking back to see if other TV shows had been able to do that as well, and I couldn't find very many TV shows. The one I found the best, mixed animation, like classic animation with live action, was Blue's Clues.
Yes.
Well, I mean, in this case, it was Steve, right? Steve was the live action, and everyone else was probably animated for the most, except for the humans. The humans were live action.
I gotta say, it's probably. I feel like it might be easier, one human interacting with like the anime, versus the opposite.
Yeah, but with this is, and we haven't seen it. What are your thoughts about this?
I don't know how I feel about it.
It's kind of weird, right? It's not even like a new character. It's a known character that they try to change.
It's the poor man's He-Man, because they probably don't have the license to say it straight up it's He-Man.
Right.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of did you guys ever watch? Oh my goodness, Drawn Together.
I loved Drawn Together.
So it kind of reminds me of like a family-friendly Drawn Together, but live action as well. So you're taking these characters, this character that is well known for those who are 80s babies and 90s babies.
Yeah, they're getting like a nostalgic factor.
And I mean, I just don't know who the demographic is almost. Like, ABC is mostly like...
I feel like 20 to 30 something.
Yeah.
Well, this is
white
on
males
Fox.
I guess.
Oh, Fox.
This is on Fox. And so, yeah, I mean, it's definitely... Well, Fox is pretty much... They have a lot of comedies.
Yeah.
You have Brooklyn Nine-Nine, New Girl. They had Grandfathered, Grinder. They're all in their comedy hours. They even have Scream Queens, which is also a comedy / horror, genre. So they're definitely keeping with a comedy theme, and putting Phil Lloyd and Chris Miller into this is definitely a good fit. But it's odd to see that, and I saw little bits and pieces of it, and it's definitely something that you don't really expect to come out of a show. So I'm not sure how it will be well received. We had the Muppets come out not too long ago on ABC that only lasted a season, which it wasn't animated, but you dealt with similar concept, surrounded around main live action characters. The puppets, and it's similar, but not too much.
I mean, I'll definitely check it out, but I think that when you deal with 80s characters and put them into modern day, there's a thin line between cheesy and funny. Like, that's my concern, is like, how cheesy is it going to be?
And I mean, like, you brought up a good point. Do you think there is a certain demographic that they are looking for this? Because I mean, you have the 80s, but then you also have teenagers.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of can hit the generic,
family.
I feel like the generic, from what I saw, him beheading a animated bird in front of his child, it's probably more like 20 to 30 something.
It's like the Family Guy crowd.
People who just recently got out of college, people who probably grew up with He-Man and with those kind of animated shows.
It's actually a good thing you mentioned that, because I forgot that Fox also has Family Guy, Simpsons, American Dad. I mean, it's all there. Yeah. And so they're definitely almost mixing the two.
Combining power.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. They can almost be like, hey, check out our live action block, and then we have the mixed one, and then we'll just transition to the comedies. I mean, or to the cartoons. Yeah. And so it's definitely an interesting mix they have going on. So I'm definitely interested to see what this is all about. But We are going to be going off to a break really soon, or right now. And I'd like to thank Diana for coming on to the show. And we want to see more of you on the show, hopefully soon.
I would love to come back.
All right, awesome. And we'll be right back after the break.
The man bun. Everyone has one, even my mama has one. But what you don't know is all the long-term effects of chronic man bun wearing.
If you're like me and tied that hairy knot on your head every day back in college, then you're probably suffering from the same effects that I am. A receding hairline.
Many people don't know that man buns cause early male pattern baldness. It's all science. Tying that knot on top of your head every day and night destroys your hair follicles, and your hair begins to fall out.
This is called traction alopecia, and once the follicles are destroyed, you'll never get that hair back.
I used to have long, luscious locks, but after my chronic usage of man buns, I no longer have a forehead, but a fat head.
So take it from me, stay away from the man buns.
Have you or a loved one suffered from thin mintitis?
Thin mintitis is a seasonal condition that starts affecting people at the end of January.
You or your loved one may have thin mintitis and may not even know about it.
Symptoms include, but are not limited to, excessively eating Thin Mints,
Not being able to put the Thin Mints down.
not sharing the Thin Mints,
Acting possessed and possibly protective of the Thin Mints.
and having Thin Mint withdrawals when they are not available.
If you or a loved one are experiencing any of these symptoms, it is okay. We can help.
We've been working diligently and have figured out the cause of Thin Mintitis.
The cause of this seasonal condition take the shape of cute little girls in matching uniforms, asking if you would like to buy cookies to help them raise money.
Thin Mintitis is a common condition, so please, try to protect you and your loved ones this January.
If you have any questions or concerns about this condition, visit us at www.wecare.org. You are not alone. Help is only a click away.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Matt Diaz, and you're watching Beyond the Credits. To my right, we have Chris Markcity, never leaving, as always. You haven't left.
Can't kick me out.
Can't kick you out. And to my left, you're coming back, Chris Nielsen.
Yeah.
How you doing? How was your break?
It was great.
Was
I
it-
just watch you from the other room.
Well,
That's all I did.
how did we look? You look good?
No.
No? All right.
Sorry, we really got to step this up.
Yeah, we got to step it up. All right.
No, you guys are good. You guys
I'm going to have a harsh meeting with my production team after this. Summer's blockbuster season obviously wrapped up, as we talked about last week. And now we're kind of diving into the fall season. And we're, even all around, we're just getting a lot of sequels, reboots. This summer alone, Independence Day, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
We're getting it's a lot of reboots and sequels. I mean, I know the main reason why we get those is because of money, but there's been a lot, and then a lot of them that are failing. Not to mention Ben-Hur, which was the biggest flop of 2016 or the summer. It's like, why do we keep creating content? Why do you think they would try to recreate something like a classic like Ben-Hur, for example?
I mean, Ben-Hur, it's a little bit, farther back. It doesn't have that nostalgia that some of these other remakes does. I think they were trying, it was a big undertaking when they did it at the time. I think they were just trying to match it in current day, give it justice with the $1 billion budget that they have now.
Yeah. Like, we can make it better because it's newer and it's fresh.
That's
Yeah,
what
most
I
of the
guess
time-
was in their mind.
Most of the time, that's the reason they give for making like a reboot or a remake, is that we need to update this film to make it relevant,
yeah.
and as far as technology goes, society, all that stuff. Like that's their reasoning behind it. But more often than not, we can kind of just assume that it's because it's a known quantity that people know that you can get the same. There's already like an audience for it. Because whenever you have a new IP, it's always a risk. It's always a risk that no one's gonna.
Very
and they
true.
don't like risks. I mean, we can't show everybody the product before they buy it. They have to buy it and then see the product. So they have to have some sort of constant that they know is going to be successful in that whole mix. So I mean but it's not like I don't think it's like a problem that we're having specifically now, because I think that even even back in the early days of film in Hollywood, they were still doing it a lot. If it wasn't a sequel, it was a remake of a play. It was a remake of a novel. Oh no, it was like a it was an adaptation of a novel or an adaptation of a play. There were still those, like, we've never, like, not had that kind of mentality in, I say we, but, you know, like, in, like, American Hollywood, you know, mindset. I think we've always had that, you know, we want to make sure that there's an audience before we make this. And remaking something that already exists under, like, you know, with the you know, the crusade that, you know, we're updating it technologically. That's enough for some people to, you know, be okay with.
We're not even really we're also getting that with previous movies. We're also getting that with, like, books.
Yeah.
I mean, we can name a bunch of movies that had a book first. We mentioned Harry Potter earlier. Even the one that came out this year, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, was a book, and now it's a movie. And it's like that we keep recycling old, like, stuff that's already there, and like you say, it's a safe zone. And now we get movies like even the animated movies like Kung Fu Panda, that came out earlier this year, the three. And that
was it 3 or
was
it 4?
It was a third one.
Wow.
And it you know, it had solid reviews, but you always go back to the original idea. And so yeah, I mean, do you know, there's like it's very rare that you see a successful trilogy, or not a trilogy, like a movie franchise that the sequel had purpose. Can you think of anything?
There's one particular one that comes to mind that I know is in the back of my head. I can't think of the name right now.
Okay.
What do you mean it had purpose though? Like
well, I mean, every sequel, there's always a reason to bring it back.
Right.
But some reasons are better than others. Obviously, you can tell that some movies are for a cash grab. You cast the same people, or you don't even cast the same people. You use the name because it's familiar.
Yeah.
And then you just, you know, it's American Pie, but it's none of the main characters.
Yeah, none of this, or like the Van Wilder, if we're going
exactly,
off that, like,
National Lampoon.
There was one that didn't have Ryan Reynolds in it at all. The guy who is Van Wilder.
It was his, like, younger brother, I think, trying to live up to his name.
Right. I mean, they just, you can tell there was no reason to make that movie. But they
couldn't get the main actor back, so they had to adjust the script.
Right, and then some of them just go straight to Blu-ray, DVD, digital HD now, and it's like it's not worth putting out. So, like, for me, I guess the question is, do you think they, aside from money, you know, are there franchises that have a meaningful sequel?
Something that comes to mind is something like a trilogy like Lord of the Rings, where it's like the fact that it's broken up into 3 acts, 3 different movies, is purposeful. It was 3 different books.
Right.
But that's like a book adaptation. Like a sequel coming out, I know I really enjoy, like, I think a lot of people can agree with this, that, you know, like the Toy Story, like, like a lot of people agree that it actually the sequels got better.
Right.
But they actually
I'm one of those people. Right.
Yeah, that they actually kind of like subverted or whatever the notion that when you make a sequel, it's bound to be worse than the original or something like that. They were the ones that proved that wrong. But there wasn't anything necessarily in the plot of the first one that needed to be carried over. Like, so it wasn't like it was
set up.
It was really necessary, but it was good. You know, like it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess. Now, I could be like rephrasing the question, but at least with the Toy Story series, even though it might not have been necessary to come out with sequels, but when they did come out with one, it felt like they were really progressing character story.
It felt like they were telling the story for a reason.
Exactly, and I guess that's the better question.
Okay, well then I'd say the Alien franchise. I know you talked about Alien earlier, but with Aliens, it's gonna get its 30th anniversary soon, coming up. James Cameron took the franchise from Ridley Scott, who had, Ridley Scott made like a really space setting horror film, which really hadn't happened before. Barely showed the alien, like you were saying earlier, and that was new, that was fresh. And then when James Cameron took it, he could have been like Ridley Scott again, making another similar kind of thing. James Cameron took it and changed the genre. It went from a isolated horror film to like a thriller kind of almost war movie, like Humans versus Aliens. And that's something that pushed the entire franchise in a new direction. So I think that's something that would be over time. It kind of remained stagnant after like Alien 3 and Resurrection kind of had the same vibe to them. Then they were trying to kind of recreate elements from the good ones, Alien and Aliens. And I'd say
Prometheus as well.
Prometheus was trying to do the So, but I think that's an instance where it was necessary. It was a good thing because they were doing something to the franchise by pushing it forward.
So definitely, there are such things as sequels that do have a purpose. That do have oh wow, that really improved on the first one, which should be what's happening.
Right.
We should be improving on what you already have. I mean, but then you have others that just want to make it because, like, you know, some can argue that with like another another sequel that came out this year was Jason Bourne. You had Jason Bourne 1, 2, and 3, which kind of like was its own solid thing, and then you had the creators were like, you know, we're not gonna come back with a new one. We did it in 3 movies.
Yeah.
And then you had Bourne Legacy.
Yeah. No. Was it Legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
with Jeremy Renner,
right.
and they were trying to
And I saw that movie, and every time, like, you know, every 30 minutes or so, they mention Jason Bourne. So he wasn't replacing him, but it was almost like he was like living on his legacy.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. There you go. And so, like, for that reason, like, it wasn't well received. And now a couple years later, go ahead.
When I watched it, I just didn't feel like it tied into the other ones as much as I guess was kind of hoping for. And granted, I'd only seen the first 2. I hadn't seen Ultimatum.
Okay.
But you know, when I went and watched it, at least the whole pill thing,
Right,
with intelligence and, you know, physical strength, it was an interesting concept. I just didn't feel like it didn't feel like it felt like it was supposed to be in Bourne,
because it kind of weakened using that whole plot. Actually, the plot of Bourne Legacy, a lot of people think weakened what happened in the trilogy beforehand. So while they're doing something new to the franchise, something like that, by not casting your main actor and doing something that made the
original character weaker,
the legacy of Bourne, you know, look weaker, you know, like kind of tarnished it a little bit. And then because of the response there from that movie, that's when they're like, okay, if we do another one, then we're gonna have to have Matt Damon back. We're gonna have to, you know, or do that. That's why Jason Bourne came out, I feel like. So that was like, it was
their apology.
They were in response to that. So I don't know. I don't know if that was that necessary for it to come back. I don't even like the title change, how they called it just Jason Bourne and like moved away from the Bourne blank kind of
his
structure.
Name?
Yeah. Like
his name. We don't need any other introduction besides that.
That's what their marketing slogan was.
So I mean, and then you have, you know, other movies that kind of like going off the sequel, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Right.
It wasn't a sequel.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it wasn't like a direct story changing sequel. But you had the title. So why would a movie studio? Because we all saw the movie, and we can, I think we all agree that it could have been a great movie without that title in it. So why would you try to incorporate it into an already existing franchise?
The universe, the cinematic universe craze. They saw it. J.J. Abrams saw it. Was like, you know, we'll bring it into Bad Robot as long as we can like make it a drop in the water of our Cloverfield, you know, universe that we could potentially create. Because now it's like you'd be a fool not to like at least leave your franchise open to the possibility of this whole universe, kind of like, just like people wanted to leave it open for sequels.
Right.
Now we're trying to kind of keeping it open for different stories entirely to be told in the same kind of universe. So it's I think it was just going off of that craze. Actually, and that was, you know, we talked about this. It was like a little bit of a detriment, tying it into a franchise that already existed.
Yeah, I felt like it was a stronger film if it didn't tie into the whole alien thing at the end.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it could have been like without the title Cloverfield in it. I think it would have been a fine film.
But it might not have gotten made. So
that's also very true. So I mean, maybe that's like the risk.
Yeah.
That, you know, like, hey, we have a great idea, but we think we should have it in this world, I guess. And so that could have been a compromise in that studio. So we don't know. And then you have Marvel Studios, the cinematic universe, who technically, if you think about it, every movie they put out is a sequel of its own. I mean, they're still telling a large story, just separately between different people, different superheroes. So that's another way of an interesting tactic. And now DC's trying to do it. They're getting a little hate for it. So yeah, it's definitely a lot A lot of movies.
Yeah,
a lot of
I think it's a good thing, like, for this whole, like, I think the universe craze, like the cinematic universe craze, is a better thing for movies. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Okay.
We're running a little high right now. So yeah, sorry.
Never mind. I won't say my point.
But
I'll just tweet it out for all you.
Yeah, tweet it out. And so we're gonna come back right after the break, and we're gonna be playing a little fun game revolving around sequels. So we'll be right back after this.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Lake Claire's Universities of Central Florida's place for relaxation, tranquility, and a good time. Students who crave the outdoors can experience the wonders of Lake Claire and all the benefits it has to offer. Lake Claire offers a wide variety of kayaks, wakeboards, canoes, and much, much more. All of this is free for UCF students and can be rented out every day of the year except for on football game days. Students can take advantage of the wide open spaces and throw around a frisbee with your friends, or attack the ball with our sandy volleyball court. Come by the dock, sit down, and enjoy the beautiful view of Lake Claire's clear blue waters. Located just off the side of Gemini Boulevard and Greek Park Drive, this bubble of nature is one you must check out after finals week. For more information and rentals, visit our website so you can enjoy Lake Claire today.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Beyond the Credits, and we're playing a little game right now. So here are the rules of the game.
Okay.
Chris versus Chris. Markcity versus Nielsen. Red versus blue, according to the dry erase boards. And here's the game. There are, as we talked about, many sequels. Many sequels.
Yes.
And so we're going to put your sequel knowledge to the test and see how many sequels you think each franchise... Well, how many movies in this franchise... So not just a sequel. So we are counting the original.
Yeah.
And so how many movies do you think are in this particular franchise?
Okay.
So I'm gonna start you guys off a little easy. Just get warmed up to it. So first question is, how many movies are in the Star Wars franchise? I'll give you guys about like 10 seconds, which I know.
That are already out.
Correct. Yeah, these are movies that are still being released.
That were theatrical releases?
Yes.
Theatrical releases?
Yes.
All right, you better not screw me here.
Yeah, I'm thinking some things. I don't know.
Okay. All right, are you guys ready?
Yes, I am.
Here we go.
Yes.
And reveal. I have no idea what you revealed.
8.
7.
All right, so
I feel like mine's probably off.
You know,
at least one.
It's funny that you said that because technically I was gonna accept both answers, but since you actually did it, like gave that 8 instead of 7, I'm gonna give Chris the point because technically, yes, there are 7 live action movies, but there are 8 theatrical releases.
Wait, was like
the Clone Wars came out with a movie before they started their TV series.
That's what I was thinking of. I wasn't sure if it would
come on.
Yeah.
You're asking the Star Wars guy here.
Yeah. So I was actually really impressed with that number. All right, now we're gonna. I'll keep it a little easy for you guys.
Okay.
All right, how many movies are in the Shrek franchise?
Oh, okay. Theatrical release.
Theatrical releases. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, flip them. How many we got?
4.
5.
The correct answer is 4.
Okay, Shrek the
Chris
Fourth.
Nielsen.
Shrek 4 Ever After, right?
Shrek, yeah.
Yeah, Shrek Forever After with Rumpelstiltskin.
After Shrek 2, it just kind of fell downhill.
That was the.
Oh God, I know. I feel like you're gonna ask. Don't ask about Ice Ages. There's so many.
I could talk about Ice Age. All right. Next question. Are you ready?
All right, yeah, let's go. Come on.
All right, here we go. How many movies are in the Friday the 13th franchise?
Including crossovers?
Sure. Yeah.
This is just coming out of my butt. This is I don't know about this one. I'm not a fan of the franchise. So. All right.
All right, you ready? And go. All right, Chris Markcity has 9. Chris
5.
This is 5. Chris Markcity gets the point with 12.
12
movies.
What? Yeah,
starting
see,
from
I'm clearly
1980 to 1980 2001.
Wow.
We have 12 sequels.
12 sequels.
Can you imagine that? That is insane. All right.
All right.
Next one. Keeping it in the genre.
Mm-hmm.
How many movies are in the Final Destination franchise?
Oh shoot!
Don't start. Okay. Too thin, I guess.
See, I know it's between two numbers. I just can't remember.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. I'm just writing it thicker. Okay.
No wait. I'm switching it.
Oh, here we go. All right. Final answer. Here we go. What we got?
5.
5 and 5. Correct. Both of you are correct. There are 5.
You changed it. You saw it.
No,
you
I
saw
didn't.
my answer.
Thinking about that, they did 4 in the continuity, then went back and did a prequel.
All right.
All right, here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Next one. How many movies are in the Star Trek franchise?
Oh shoot! Let's see.
Getting intense. I can feel it.
Okay.
All right, whenever. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Reveal. 9.
I'm closer.
13. There is 13
Yes.
Star Trek
Okay,
movies.
cool. Awesome. I wasn't sure.
I was very impressed with
Dude,
that.
when you get it right, you get it accurate.
Yeah, I know, right? Even when it's very true. Currently, Nielsen, you're leading 8 to 3.
Woo. Come on,
He's
Chris.
getting all right. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
How many movies are in the Pink Panther franchise?
Oh man.
I think I'm low, but we'll see.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Reveal.
6.
6. 7.
I know there's at least 4 plus the 2 remakes.
Yeah. 4 of the old ones, and then 2 Steve Martin.
Starting since 1963,
Yeah.
there have been 11 Pink Panther movies. So Chris,
I knew there was more than
Markcity
6.
is closest.
I have the
Gets
collection.
the point.
There's some that aren't even called like.
I love Pink Panther.
Yeah, there's some that aren't
Alright.
even called like the Pink Panther. So.
Yeah. All right, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. How many movies are in the Halloween franchise?
Franchises I know.
Halloween. See, this is where my lack of horror knowledge just is.
See, like for all these, like, yeah, okay, I guess.
This is entertaining. I told you it's gonna be entertaining for me. All right, let's reveal.
What'd you put?
What do we got?
13.
13.
10.
10. Ooh. Let's see.
How do we
here.
break that up? Is it like 11? Or 12, or?
It is. I have to go which closer, and you are closer with 8.
8. Okay.
Halloween movies. Not as
Wow.
much as you might think there was, starting since 1978.
So like for all
Friday the
these,
13th really threw me off. So yeah.
for all these things, I can think of like at least 4.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on. How many movies are in? Now I'm talking. Now this one I'm talking about all movies, right?
Okay.
Not all of them were released in theatrical.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you ready?
All right.
The American Pie franchise. Because some of them were straight to DVD.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no.
I don't think you're confident. Oh wait,
I'm not confident in this at all.
I've seen most of it. Let's see. We'll see.
Okay, all right. Reveal. Markcity has 7. Chris Nielsen has 5.
That's more than 5.
Markcity does get the point. But
How many are there?
starting since 1999, there have been 8 sequels, 4 of them being straight to DVD releases.
Why?
Yes.
I wrote 8 first.
Interesting fact, all of them have been included with Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
He's
He's the only continuing character.
Yep. And
Thank goodness.
He finds his way to bring himself in there anyway. All right, moving on.
His
All right.
eyebrows.
What? I'm sorry, who got that point? It was Chris.
Yeah.
How about? Okay. All right, here we go. No, not Chris. How many movies are in the Muppets franchise?
There's so many of like the spoofs that they have.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure about.
I know there's just dead air there. I don't know. All right.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Chris Nielsen with 10. Markcity with 9.
I thought you were telling me.
Oh,
this.
no.
Is it more?
There is more.
More than 10?
Yes.
Really? All right.
12
Okay.
Muppets movies from 1979. The latest one was in 2014.
Huh.
So yes, Nielsen gets the point.
Cool.
All right, next movie. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. How many movies are in? This might be an easy one for some of you.
Yeah.
The Rocky series. How many movies are there?
Are we including Creed?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Reveal. 7. The answer is 7. There you go. I knew that would be an easy one. It's kind of popular. All the way since 1976, and the newest one 2015. All right, here we go. This one's a tricky one.
Okay.
And I'm very happy that this is going to be on the list.
Really?
Because I did not think we were going to talk about this show, but we are. How many movies are in The Land Before Time?
Shoot.
Are you ready? Reveal. All right. Markcity with 15. It's infinity.
There are so many. I know I'm gonna get this wrong, but I'd rather do comedy than try to guess wrong.
From 1988 to 2016, there
many?
has been a new one this year.
I didn't know
there
that.
have been 14 different
14?
movies. So you were very close with 15. I was very
Worth it. Worth it.
All right. Here's another tricky one. How many movies are in the Air Bud franchise?
Including buddies?
Okay. Including Air Buddies?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
Whatever. Let's do this.
Are you guys ready? Reveal. 9.
12.
There have been 14 different Air Bud movies.
Air
So
buddies, space buddies, super buddies.
All right, we go through.
Don't try naming them all.
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. I've lost count.
All right, very quickly, we do 2 more. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, ready. How many movies are in the Godzilla franchise?
Oh. I knew that other one. Dang it.
I was told we only
okay.
have time for one more.
Godzilla.
We only have time for one more, unfortunately.
Shoot. Okay.
Oh, wait. Non-American.
Quickly, we are running out of time.
Yeah,
Chris.
non-American. Yeah, come on.
18, 13. I was counting all of them, and there are 31 different Godzilla franchises. All right, so the final score was Chris Markcity, you have 8. Chris Nielsen, you had 13, 14. Congratulations, Chris Nielsen. You won the game.
I did it.
There you go. There you go.
job.
All right, so thank you, everybody, for watching me on the credits. Thank you, Chris Markcity, Chris Nielsen, Diana Rodriguez on our TV segment. Thank you very much for everybody who's enjoying the show. Be sure to check back next week for our show. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.